the most underrated game. Doesn't mean it's bad, it's well beloved. It's just such like a cult thing, and it didn't sell very well, and a lot of people just never played it. Star Tropics. If you've been following this channel, you know how much I like Star Tropics. It was the first game I ever bought with my own money. And the main character is awesome. He's just this all-American kid named Mike Jones. Not the rapper. I hate him just because of his name. And it's got magic. It's got aliens. You fight a bunch of like ridiculous bosses, like a giant centipede, a lava monster, the king of the ghosts, and a pink xenomorph. It's just really good. It's super awesome. It plays a lot like the original couple Zeldas, just top-down adventure kind of thing. You really ought to play Star Tropics if you like adventure games, and if you haven't yet. I'm gonna have to go replay it just talking about it. That game is awesome. It's just the right amount of challenge to be like hard but not like horrible, and it's just really fun. And Mike Jones was a pretty cool protagonist for the NES days, because most of them were silent, and he talked and he shoved bananas in his ears and he was very sarcastic. And I think for a single character, he has the most ridiculous and awesome arsenal of weapons out of any game character to date.
By far, the most underrated game that I've ever played is Chaos Legion. I absolutely loved that game. It was so much fun and so interesting to me. A lot of people discount it as saying it's just a Devil May Cry ripoff, which is partially true. But the Legions add a whole other level to the gameplay. Like, the first one you get, Guilt, is you just surround yourself in like phantom swordsmen. They can be offensive or defensive, and you can level them up, which is one of the only times you can level up a summon type character. And each one has its own use, and it's just great. Like, one of my favorite things was Blasphemy, the little bomb. You could just punt him and it light everything around you on fire, and it was just so much fun. Just a lot of the combos. Thanatos was interesting because he started out an egg, and you had to like raise him through combat, and then he just became, as his name suggests, just a god of death, and nothing stood a chance. But it was a really interesting game, a lot of fun. Very cool boss fights. I really loved the boss fights in that game. And if you've never played it or never heard of it, I would strongly recommend giving it a shot.
'Tis the darkest glyph thou bearest, it sacrifices stray souls to summon unearthly force. Unearthly force shall obey and serve thee. 'Tis named Chaos Legion.
The most underrated game is easily Chrono Cross. Chrono Cross is the weird and absolutely just amazing sequel to Chrono Trigger. It was like way ahead of its time with the like alternate dimension stuff going on. Like nowadays we get a lot of that, but like back when this came out, there was next to nothing like that. And Chrono Cross is just so amazing. Like right from the get-go, you're in for a just fantastic RPG. The element like battle system was really well done. I liked it a lot, and there's never been anything like it since. And I mean, just like all the like special attacks were really cool. Not to mention, you get like 30 characters at least. Like there are so many characters, but you can't really get all in one playthrough. That's the whole thing. Is like there's so many like branching paths, and if you get this character, you can't get this character, and so on and so forth. But it is just an amazing game with probably the most replay value of any game to date, I would say, just because of the whole you recruit characters this way, the story changes this way, and it's just, God, it's so much fun. The plot is absolutely insane, and I went through a phase for like about 5 to 7 years where I played Chrono Cross once a year. Like, I kind of calmed down. I definitely need to play it again after this. I'm jonesing bad. But I played it like every year for like 5 to 7 years, and it was just amazing. I love it, and the story still doesn't fully make sense. I still find new stuff in that game every time I replay it. I'm just like, wow, how did I not catch that before? You know, and it's just, God, it's amazing. The main villain is really cool. Lynx is awesome, but then he gets kind of more or less plot jacked by the elemental dragons, and they just, they are so much fun to fight and deal with. And it's just a great game. It has some of the best boss fights in any JRPG, and has an outstanding battle system, great characters, and it brought in some dual text too from Chrono Trigger. The only complaint I have is it doesn't tie into Chrono Trigger as much as I would like it to, but God, Chrono Cross from start to end is fantastic. The fact that it is underrated, I don't even understand. Like, everyone shits on it because of all the characters, but like, really? Why don't you want characters? Do you not want more ways to play a game the way you want? It's the dumbest argument I've ever heard. Chrono Cross is one of my top 5 games. Easily, like, my favorite JRPG, and it is just, it's amazing. If you haven't played Chrono Cross, go play it. You won't regret it, and you'll be confused. Hey, thanks for watching. Did you like the video? Why don't you hit that like and subscribe button? It really helps us grow the channel. And don't forget to ring that bell to join our notification squad. Also, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I put the links in the description just to make it easier for you to get to. And we will catch you next time for the next video from the Brotrio.